Hi everyone, it's me Dr. Farooq. I'm fine and hope you are also fine and doing great. Today in this session we'll see what is meant by transformation of the signals, what are the various possible transformations on the signals, and also we will implement the various transformations using MATLAB. So first start with transformations. So transformation is nothing but a time domain operation which changes the size and shape of the signal in time domain. Now let's see what are the various possible transformations that can be done on the signal. So basically we have four types of transformations that can be done in time domain on a signal. We can have a amplitude scaling, we can have a time scaling, and we can do time shifting as well as amplitude shifting. Now let's consider a signal x of t on which we can do all the four possible transformations. So here we can see the amplitude is multiplied with a, that's why it is called the amplitude scaling factor, and the time is multiplied with b, which is the time scaling factor, and c is the time shifting factor, and finally d is the amplitude shifting factor. The operations done on the time scaling and time shifting will not affect the amplitude of the signal, and similarly the operations done on the amplitude will not affect the time of the signal. To perform various transformations on the signal, start with the time shifting operation as it has got more preference compared to time scaling operation. Then perform the time scaling operation. Now if the time scaling factor is less than 1, then the signal will get elaborated. That means it will take more time for the signal to complete. And similarly, if the time scaling factor is greater than 1, then the signal will get compressed. That means the signal will complete within a short duration of time. And finally, if the time scaling factor is -1, then the operation is called time reversal of the signal. We have to fold the signal along the y-axis. After performing the time scaling and time shifting operation, then perform the amplitude scaling factor. So amplitude scaling factor is very simple. The multiply entire signal with a given amplitude scaling factor A. Now if the amplitude scaling factor is negative, then fold the signal along the x-axis, and finally perform the amplitude shifting of the signal. So for amplitude shifting, add the entire signal by a constant d to get the complete transformed signal. Now let's see what are the various possible transformations we can do on the signal. To start with, let's start the time shifting operation. In time shifting operation, we can have the time delay and time advanced operations, that is left shift and right shift. To start with, let's consider a sequence defined as y is equal to 7, 1, 2, 6 and 3 at the instants -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2 as shown in the graph. And let's perform x of n-1, that is the delaying of the sequence. We will get the new sequence will be available at n old plus 1 divided by 1. So that means we have to add 1 to every old sample, which gives a new sample as -1, 0, 1, 2 and 3, and the samples will exist at this particular instance of time. Here we can see the transformed signal. Now similarly, let's perform the time advanced or the right shift of the signal. So here let's perform x of n plus 2 on the sequence given as earlier. Now the sequence new time instance will be available as n old minus tsh by time scaling factor. Now just substitute the time shifting factor 2 and the time scaling factor as 1. So that makes the new samples as old samples -2 divided by 1. So we have to add -2 to the every old samples, which gives a new samples as -4, -3, -2, -1 and 0. And these magnitudes will available at this new instance of samples. Now here we can see the signal which is supposed to start at n is equal to -2 has got advanced by 2 units. The signal is now starting at n is equal to -4, and we have performed a similar operation on the continuous version. So here also we can see a signal which is supposed to be start at time t is equal to 0 has got advanced. consider what are the different types of scaling operations that can be done on the sequence. So we have got three different cases when the scaling factor is less than 1, greater than 1, and when it is equal to -1. Let's consider the sequence which we have taken earlier. So for the sequence, let's compute x of 0.5n. So first we have to find the new sample instance, and that can be computed by using this formula. So n new sample instance will be old instance minus the shifting factor divided by scaling factor. So here the shifting factor is 0 and the scaling factor is 0.5. So that means we have to divide every old sample instance by 0.5. That makes every sample multiplying with 2. So this is the new sample instance, and these are the samples available at -4, -2, 0, 2 and 4. So here we can see the samples available at -4, 2, 0, 2 and 4, and the intermediate samples at n is equal to -1 and n is equal to -3. Similarly at n is equal to 1 and 3 should be interpolated with zeros. So this process is called elaboration or interpolation or upsampling of the discrete sequence. And similarly, a similar operation is done on the continuous time signal. So here also we have performed x of 0.5t, so which makes the signal elaborated. Now here you can see the signal which is at time t is equal to 0 to 3 has got expanded from 0 to t is equal to 6 seconds. Now let's see when the time scaling factor is greater than 1. So let's consider the same sequence which we have taken earlier. On the sequence, let's perform x of 2n. So now first we have to find out the new time sample instance, which can be computed by using this formula. So substitute the time scaling factor as 2 and the time shifting factor as 0. So which makes every old sample divided by 2. So here is a new sample instance as -1, -0.5, 0, 0.5 and 1. As the sample exists only at the integer values, the intermediate samples existing at n is equal to -0.5, n is equal to 0.5 will be lost. So here we can see the transformer version of the new sequence. So this process is called downsampling or decimation. We have applied a similar operation on the continuous signal. So here you can see the signal has got compressed in time domain. Now let's perform the time reversal operation on the sequence. Now let's consider the same sequence which we have taken earlier and compute x of -n. So for computing the x of -n, take the scaling factor as -1 and shifting factor as 0. So which means the old sample has to be divided by -1. So this makes the new samples available as 2, 1, 0, -1 and 2. And this is the sequence has got flipped from left to right. So here we can see the flipped version of the sequence. We can perform a similar operation on the continuous signals. So here we have performed x of -t on the stage signal, so which will give a reversal version. Now let's perform the amplitude scaling on the sequence. Amplitude scaling is very simple. We have to multiply every sample at given instant of time with the given scaling factor. So here the samples 7, 1, 2, 6 and 3 should be multiplied with 2. And remember, the time instant will not change as the amplitude scaling, amplitude shifting will not affect the time or the sequence. Now let's see the amplitude shifting operation on the sequence and continuous time signal. So here the amplitude shifting is done just by adding the given shifting factor with the sequence or the continuous time signal. So here we can see for the signal we have added 2. That means every sequence at every instant of time has got lifted by 2 units. Similarly, on the continuous signal, the signal has shifted by 2 units above the origin. Now let's see how we can simulate the various transformations on the signals using MATLAB. To start with, let's generate the time vector for the given signals. Now assign a time vector from -10 to +10 with an increment of 0.001 second and a variable y for the original signal with zeros and the length as that of the variable t. And similarly, for the transformed signal, assign a variable y new with zeros and the dimensions same as that of the variable t. Now let's generate the stair vector which we have taken in the example. So for the indexing variable I is equal to 1 to length of t, between the intervals 0 to 1 we have to assign y of I with 1, and for the intervals between 1 to 2 y of I should be assigned with 2. Similarly, for the intervals between 2 to 3 let's make y of I as 1. That's it. Now let's plot the stair signal using subplot command. And here we are going to divide the graph into 2 rows and 1 column, and in the first position we are going to plot the original signal y of t. And now let's define the transformation parameters: time scaling, time shifting, amplitude scaling and amplitude shifting factors. So here are the time shifting factor, time scaling factor, amplitude shifting factor and amplitude scaling factor. So initially they have been assigned with the initial values as time shifting factor with 0 and scaling factor with 1, and similarly the amplitude shifting factor with 0 and the amplitude scaling factor with 1. And now let's generate the new time vector for the transformations. So here is the new time vector for the transformations of the signals. Now let's transform the signals for the new time vector. So we'll just make use of the same signal which we have already generated and just copy paste here. For the time signal we have to replace every time instant with the new time. So replace t with tn, and also the corresponding limits also has to be transformed into the new axis. So let's copy this thing. That's it. Now we have completely performed the time scaling and time shifting operations on the signal. Now let's perform the amplitude scaling and amplitude shifting on the signal. Now, so let's assign a variable y tran is equal to y, and now let's multiply the signal with the amplitude scaling factor and add the amplitude shifting factor to the signal. That's it. We have performed the complete time scaling, time shifting operations here, and amplitude scaling and amplitude shifting factor here. Now let's plot the transformed signal using subplot command. I'm going to plot this transformed signal in position 2, and let's change the title to transformed signal and change the variable y to ytran here. And now we are running the program with default values which will not give any transformation. Now let's see the transformation here. When you run the program, here we can see this is the original signal and this is a transformed signal. So here we can see there is no transformation introduced. Now let's delay the signal by some time units. So let's make a time delay of -2 seconds here and run the program. Now here we can see the signal which is supposed to start at time t is equal to 0 now has got delayed by 2 units. And now let's simulate a advanced version of the signal. Now let's change the time shifting factor to some 3 units. So that means the signal will be shifted by 3 units in advance. Now let's run the program. So now here we can see the signal which is supposed to start at time t is equal to 0 now has started at time t is equal to minus 3 seconds. It has got advanced by 3 units. Now let's see how we can implement the time scaling operations on the signal. So we can use the same program, and just by changing the time scaling factor we can incorporate the time scaling operations. Now let's bring the time shifting factor, the amplitude shifting factor and amplitude scaling factor to their default values and change the time scaling factor to 0.5. And now let's run the simulation. Now here you can see for a time scaling factor less than 1, the signal has got expanded in time domain. So that means it takes more time for the signal to complete. Now let's see the another case when the time scaling factor is 2. Now let's run the program. So here you can see for the time scaling factor greater than 1, the signal is compressed in time domain. So it means the signal will be completed within a short duration of time. So it will take half the time as that of original signal. Now let's see another case for time reversal. Now let's change the time scaling factor as -1 and now run the simulation. So here we can see the signal has got reflected onto the y-axis. So this is called the time reversal of the signal. So far we have seen the various time scaling and time shifting operations. Now let's see how we can implement the amplitude scaling and amplitude shifting operations on the signal. So to perform the amplitude operations on the signal, let's make the default values for the time shifting factor as time scaling factor as 1 and let's change the time scaling factor to 2. And now let's run the program. Now here we can see the amplitude alone has got affected whereas the time scale didn't get affected. Now let's see how we can implement the amplitude shifting operation on the signal. Now let's make the default value of the scaling factor as 1 and now let's make this as some 1. Now let's run the program. So here we can see the entire signal has got shifted by 1 unit up from the origin. So in this way the amplitude shifting operation can be performed. Now let's perform a combined operation on the given signal. So we can implement all the time scaling and amplitude scaling, time shifting and amplitude shifting operation all at once by using the same program. So for the given signal, here we have to perform 2x of 230 plus 2 plus 1. So here we have got amplitude scaling factor, time scaling factor, time shifting factor and amplitude shifting factor. Now let's change the values to the given values. Let's make this shifting factor as 2 and this time scaling factor as 2/3, 2 by 3 and the amplitude shifting factor as 1 and the amplitude scaling factor here as 2. And now let's run the program. So here we can see this is the transformed signal for the given operations. Now by using different values of the scaling and shifting factors, we can perform various operations on the signal. So this is the program for performing various operations on the signals. Now let's see how we can implement various transformations of the signals on a discrete sequence. Now let's generate a vector from -10 to +10 for the sequence and a new sequence with zeros as same size as that of n. Now this is the sequence on which we can perform the transformations. So here is the sequence 7 1 2 6 3 existing at -2 -1 0 n is equal to 1 and at n is equal to 2. And now as we have defined the transformation parameters in the continuous version, so here also we'll make use of same transformation shifting parameters and scaling parameters. So here also this is the time shifting factor, time scaling factor, amplitude shifting factor, and amplitude scaling factor. And now let's generate the new vector for the sequence as n new is equal to n old minus t shifting factor by time scaling factor. So this is a similar formula which we have used for the continuous time signals. Now let's make use of a for loop for mapping the sequence against the newly generated time sample instance. Now, so here is the for loop. So here is a for loop which runs for n is equal to 1 to the number of elements in the variable new1. I'm going to pick every element in the new sequence and I will compare this against the samples already defined in the variable n is equal to minus 10 to plus 10. If I found the values in this sample, I will replace the new y with the sample already defined here. Now let's make use of another for loop which runs between minus 10 to plus 10. So this is another for loop which runs from n is equal to minus 10 to plus 10. I will first pick the elements in n new and I will compare this against the elements in the variable n. Now if of I, so I have to make use of the variable I here because the for loop for the index variable for the new variable is I, so I have to make use of I here is equal to, this is n of j. Now if these two elements are matching, that means if the first element in the n new matches anywhere in the vector n is equal to minus 10 to plus 10, at that particular instant I'm going to replace 0 with this particular sample. Now let's do this. So here this variable whose indexing is j should be replaced with the elements of the y. That's it. Now let's plot the original sequence and the transformed signals using subplot command. So here is the original sequence plotting in the subplot command and position 1. Now let's run the program. So this is the original sequence and now let's perform the amplitude operations on the transformed signal and finally let's plot the transformed signal. So here we are performing the amplitude operations on the sequence. So here multiply with the amplitude scaling factor and then we have to add the amplitude shifting factor that's it. Now we have performed all the time scaling and time shifting operations here and we have performed amplitude scaling and amplitude shifting operations here. Now let's plot the transformed signal using subplot command and in position 2 I'm going to plot this against the variable n. So that is the now let's run the program. So here we can see the original sequence and the transformed signal. So here with the default values there won't be any change in the sequence. Now let's change the transformation parameters. Now let's change the shifting factor as 2. So it is, so here we can see that the entire sequence has got shifted right by 2 units. So the signal which is supposed to start at n is equal to 2 has now started at n is equal to -4. Now similarly, let's delay the sequence. For that, let's give as -3. So that means the signal will be delayed by 3 units. Let's run the simulation. Now here you can see the sequence has got delayed by 3 units. And now let's see what are the various time scaling operations that can be performed on the sequence. Now let's make the default value of the shifting factor as 0 and the time scaling factor to be 0.5. Now with this, the new time scale will become the old sample instance minus the time shifting factor 0 divided by 0.5. That makes the old samples will get multiplied with 2. Now let's run the program. So here you can see the new samples. Every old sample has got multiplied with 2 and the samples 7, 1, 2, 6 and 3 will now exist at n is equal to -4, -2, 0, 2 and 4. Now let's see it in the graph. So here we can see the samples existing at n is equal to -4, -2, 0, 2 and 4. This process is called interpolation as we have interpolated the intermediate samples with zeros, and this is also known as upsampling or elaboration of the sequence. And now let's see another case where the time scaling factor is greater than 1. Let's make it as 2. With this new time scaling factor, the new samples will obtain as the old sample divided by 2. Now let's run the simulation. And here you can see that every old sample has got divided by 2. So as a result, the new samples will be available as -1, -0.5, 0, 0.5 and 1. As we know that the discrete sequence exists only at integer values, the samples at n is equal to -0.5 and 0.5 should be discarded. Now let's see these things in graphical representation. So here you can see the samples exist at n is equal to -1, n is equal to 0 and n is equal to 1. And this process is called decimation or downsampling. And now let's see when the time scaling factor is -1, which is the time reversal operation of the sequence. Now let's run the simulation. So now here you can see the time sequence has got flipped. Let's see things in the graph. So here we can see the samples has got flipped for the time reversal operation. Now let's perform the amplitude scaling and amplitude shifting operations. Now let's make this as a default value as 1, the amplitude scaling factor as 1.2. Now let's run the program. So here as we can see that the samples instance will not change as we are performing the operations only on the amplitudes, not on the time samples. So here we can see the result. Every sample has got scaled by 1.2. Now let's perform all combined operations on the sequence. So here is the sequence y of n, which is defined as 2x of 2/3 n plus 2 plus 1. Now let's change these time scaling, amplitude scaling factors and time shifting and amplitude shifting factors as given in this expression. So let's change the time shifting factor as 2, the time scaling factor as 2/3, the amplitude shifting factor as 1 and the amplitude scaling factor as 2. Now let's run the simulation. So this is the new sequence for the given operations. Now I hope you understood the concepts and you can practice these things on your own. And in the next coming session, we will see what are the different properties of the signals, and also we will see the properties of the systems.